All right, guys, welcome back to the Fantasy Connection. This is Jeremy. We're going to be picking six today in the 10-team PPR. Looking at everything here, I've been bouncing between Alvin Kamara and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, typically around this spot. I think I'm liking Clyde more now, just with the latest possible trade rumors. Kamara's getting back stuff, injections in his back right now for pain, and it just seems kind of risky, so we're going to go with the rookie, and that'll be our first pick. All right, guys, since the pick of Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who went on the right side, obviously we like most of these guys. It's the first round. The one I wouldn't take this early, especially in a PPR, is Derrick Henry. I don't know why. I just can't take him. Eckler goes. We got a few guys in our queue I hope fall. This is kind of why I like the back of the draft, because you can get two studs at running back, and running back is just super thin this year. I feel like wide receiver is pretty deep. So hopefully Josh Jacobs or Joe Mixon falls to us, and we will start with Clyde Edwards-Helaire and one of those two guys. And one of them will, because Nick Chubb goes there. Between those two, I've taken both. Mixon's been questionable, but he was just waiting for the contract extension and basically acting like he had migraines. So I think I'm going to take him over Josh Jacobs. As I said, I like them both, but I feel like Mixon maybe will have a higher upside, especially if Burrow comes in and is a good quarterback. Last year he was pretty great at the end of the year, and they didn't have anyone at quarterback worth a damn, so I can see him improving. And Jacobs goes right before my pick, so that makes it pretty easy. We're going to take Mixon, as we were just talking about. So we start with two stud running backs. This is why the back of the round is for drafts I like. Typically, if you're earlier, you'll have to come back and probably grab one of these wide receivers, a stud wide receiver, which is fine, or maybe a running back that's a little lower tier, but it's cool to start with tier 1, 2-ish type running backs. Since our pick of Joe Mixon, Devontae Adams went, Hopkins, Tyreek Hill, Julio, Kelsey, Godwin, Thielen. I got one guy here, and he didn't go, luckily. I'm totally fine with DJ Moore as your number one receiver, especially in a PPR. He's going to catch a ton of balls. He did pretty well last year, and they had no quarterback. So we start off with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Joe Mixon, and DJ Moore. As always on the right, we're going to go over the picks here. After DJ Moore, Allen Robinson, Amari Cooper, Juju Smith-Schuster, Odell Beckham Jr., Lamar Jackson, and Courtland Sutton. We are in round 4. Obviously, I typically don't go quarterback early, but round 4 for Patrick Mahomes is pretty great. And I definitely like a lot of the wide receivers that are left. For my second guy, I already have my starting number 1 wideout. So if I can get Mahomes here, I will take him. This typically is not going to happen in your home league, though. I've seen Lamar and Mahomes go like round 1, round 2 in a lot of home leagues. He falls. Robert Woods would have been my other pick. So for PPR, Woods and Moore, that's a great value. But actually, I've been doing the quarterback thing a lot lately. We're going to take him. I just like seeing how the team turns out. Just keep in mind, we could have had Woods there and then taken a quarterback later. We'll look at our team at the end and see if I'm lacking in the wide receiver department, but I think we're going to be fine. So after Mahomes, the next pick, Robert Woods goes, who we were talking about, and then Chris Carson. I do like Chris Carson out of this group of running backs. Keenan Allen goes. I did like him as well for my next pick. There's some guys I've got queued up here. McLaurin, Chark, I really like this year. I also like Jonathan Taylor. The one thing I didn't notice was sometimes you'll do this. You'll draft guys from the same team. At least with this team, it's the Chiefs. Best offense in the league, so I'm not too worried. Let's see. We are on the clock. Jonathan Taylor's still there. I think by the end of the year, this guy's a stud, and then we will have 3 stud running backs. But I also need another wide receiver. I don't know if our guys make it back. Some later guys I like, but we're just going to go Taylor and see how it falls. McLaurin and Chark are the two guys I was peeking at there, but hopefully one of them will fall. We will see soon. Here's who went on the right after Jonathan Taylor. Terry McLaurin does go just a couple picks before us, but it looks like Chark or possibly Landry will fall, which I'm totally fine with as my number 2 receiver, and we got a third running back. Eventually, I believe all 3 of these running backs will be studs, so it doesn't hurt the team that much. Chark did fall, so we will take him without thinking. Now we got our starting receivers. It's looking pretty good so far. After our pick of DJ Chark, here's who went. DK Metcalf. I do like Mostert. I know a lot of people are against Mostert. Or Fournette, I don't know if I'd take him. He just went to Tampa Bay. He hasn't practiced with them much. I know he's probably better than Jones, but I can see that whole backfield being a mess. So I'm kind of just staying away from him. Marquise Brown goes. He's someone I had queued up. There is a guy I'm hoping falls here. It's Michael Gallup or Devontae Parker. They both do fall. I'm going to go with Gallup here. A lot of people are down on him after the CeeDee Lamb pick, but I am not. He's going to be in the slot, and if anything, it just opens things up for him even more. So now we have a decent backup wide receiver. As always, we're going to try to stack up on our wide receiver and running back depth. I'm going to punt tight end because I took Mahomes. So tight end will probably be our last pick, if not the second to last. The way I see it, if you don't get the top 2 tight ends, you might as well just wait. After Gallup, here's who went on the right. Obviously, Parker went. A.J. Green went. If he's healthy, that's a steal. There's a guy that basically already says who I would have on the clock, so I'm going to take him. It's Mark Ingram. It's more running back depth. I know he's not the flashiest pick, but you can never have enough running backs in fantasy football, and he's on one of the best offenses in the league. If he holds on to that job, he will be valuable for us, and he will provide someone we can switch to on bye weeks. It just depends. He could even be the starter, depending. I don't really see him over Mixon or Edwards or Lair, but he could be in the flex if Jonathan Taylor takes some time before he takes over that job. After we took Mark Ingram, here's who went on the right side. Brandon Cooks I like. Breeze I like that late, but it's the 9th round, and things are starting to get hairy and not very pretty. Looking for wide receivers and running backs, obviously. If Crowder's still sitting there, I'll probably take him. The Jets seem like everyone is just getting injured, and it's not going very well. And he's a PPR guy. He's probably going to catch another 100 balls. He can fill in, especially on bye weeks, which he is a bye that we don't have yet, so that is good. We will take him, add a little more receiver depth, and we'll get some running back depth here soon. Obviously, late rounds, I draft almost the same guys every draft because I just have who I like. I highly encourage you to figure out who you like. I'm going to cue up my boy right there and do the same. The first few rounds, you want to avoid risk, and you want to go running back or receiver. And, if you can get Patrick Mahomes in the 4th round, that's okay. But after about the 6th, 7th round, you kind of want to just start going after guys you like and forget the ADP because these are all dart throws, and sometimes it sucks when you don't pick the dart throw you knew was going to turn out, and then because of ADP, and then he explodes. Godwin was like that last year in the 4th round. If you took Godwin in the 3rd round last year, at the draft you would have looked kind of stupid, but a few weeks later you would have looked like a genius. We're sitting here. So I talked for that whole break. Here's who went. I like Dobbins. Obviously, I already have Ingram, so I probably wouldn't have taken him. Zach Moss went. I liked him as well. The Bills D, don't take a D unless it's the last 2 picks. That is kind of the fantasy rule. Ds and kickers you can wait on. I'm going to grab another sleeper here. Obviously, not going by ADP. All these guys are above him. But I like McCole Hardman just in case someone gets injured. He's going to take the job. Sammy Watkins is pretty much always injured. And Tyreek Hill can get into some weird things off the field sometimes. So I like the chance that he becomes usable on a weekly basis. And he's another Chief. On the right, here's who went after Hardman. Preston Williams is an interesting pick. Other than that, Ruggs as well. The Raiders need to use him because they don't have many options there. So, who am I looking at? Bunch of tight ends sitting here. Like I said, I'm going to punt that position. We got a few wide receivers here. I could grab Mac, but I kind of just don't like having a ton of people from the same team. I got a guy. I'm going to take Thompson after they traded away Fournette. I think he does have value, especially in a PPR league. Every time that guy's healthy, he is valuable. Ooh, and we didn't get our guy. Did he go right after? Actually, Antonio Gibson went before we took Thompson. I was thinking about in 10th round when I took Hardman, but I didn't. And that's why if you have a guy you really like I like Gibson, you take him earlier than that. Now he's not on our team, but that's where you live and you learn. Take him early. I think he's going to be a stud by the end of the year. Take this guy now, N'Keal Harry. I think Cam Newton likes big receivers, and you'll know quickly whether N'Keal Harry's the guy or not. We got 2 picks left. I'm going to lock in some tight ends that I like if they fall, and then our last pick will just be a dart throw, as always. Someone hopefully that you can cut the first week if he doesn't work out because of waivers are going to hit, and the first week always answers so many questions. So many guys are then picked up, and sometimes it doesn't work out, but you want to have a guy that you're going to know week 1. Is this guy going to be worth anything or not? Okay, not. Cut him. More than likely it's not. Or if you hit on the guy who's the big week 1 waiver pickup and you took him, you can save all that fab, which I highly encourage people to play with fab. If you're not, I think you're crazy. After we took Harry, here's who went on the right. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Marlon Mack that late. I mean, if he holds on to the job, that's the biggest steal ever. I did have Hawkinson queued up just because I feel like he could take a step forward this year. I've been going for other tight ends later, honestly, but he's sitting here still in the 13th round. If he's playing week 1, Matthew Stafford could fall in love with him, and then I have myself a great tight end. He was taken at 7th overall. I really liked him coming into the season last year. Obviously, he got hurt, and he had a great week 1, but then it was kind of just done. We're on our last pick here. I already took Thompson. I'm going to take Damian Harris. I think he's got a chance for the job there in New England. So let's go over the team. Starting quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. Don't do it often, but hey, it sounds nice. At running back, we got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Joe Mixon, and then Jonathan Taylor. On the bench, we got Mark Ingram, Chris Thompson, and Damian Harris. That's a pretty solid running back squad. Wide receivers, we got DJ Moore, Chark, and then on the bench, we have Gallup, Crowder, Hardman, and Harry. I really like that as well. Obviously, they're not as high-end of wide receivers as a Julio or an Adams, but anyone who took those guys is not going to have the running back squad that we have, and running backs get hurt, and I always want extra. It's a solid team. This is why I like picking later in the round. Again, thank you for tuning in and listening. Hopefully, I helped you out.